Happy New Year, Mesa Nation, and welcome to 2021, the first podcast of the new calendar year. This is Mrs. Kahawai. I'm an English teacher at Mesa, and I'm going to be your host for this episode. We're already here at the end of January, and I wanted to send a special shout out and lots of love to our seniors in this school year of 2021, because this is their graduating year. And even though it's a little different than maybe some of them had planned, it's still a really exciting accomplishment to get this far. So kudos to them. So we'll be thinking about them today as we talk about all our New Year's goals and resolutions. So for today's podcast, we have sophomore students from the 10th grade classes at Costa Mesa High School. And all of us are kind of talking about New Year's resolutions and some of the things thinking about last year and reflections on the year 2020 and looking ahead to the year 2021. So we're going to kind of start off by saying a warm welcome to our sophomores, Grace Dickinson. Hi, Grace.
Hi.
Ava Pollock. Hi, Ava.
Hello.
Danny Barrientos. Hey, Danny, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Julian Villalobos. Hi, Julian.
Hi.
And Yesenia Rivera. Hi, Yesenia.
Hi.
I'm so glad to have all of you guys here today with me. Did I forget anybody? They get everyone's hellos in? Yes. All right, great. Well, today, like I said, we're going to start off by talking about some of the work we've been doing in our sophomore English classes. And one of the things that we found was an article in the New York Times that talked about the top 20 words and phrases from 2020. And some of the words were like quarantine, PPE, Zoom. All of them were maybe new to our vocabulary in 2020, but they ended up becoming part of our daily use. So I kind of thought I would start out by asking each of you what maybe the word you would use to define 2020, like your one word or phrase that you would say is your 2020 description. Does anybody have one that kind of stands out? You want to start us off, Grace? What do you think? What's your word or phrase for 2020?
Well, it's pretty basic, but I think quarantine was really used the most. That or social distancing. We all have our own individual ones, but I think that's probably the main word that was used the most.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Danny? Would you agree with Grace, or do you have a different word or phrase for 2020?
I think the word I'd probably use is would be unproductive.
Oh, yep. I'm with you, man. I definitely spent lots of hours on Netflix and on the couch. That is for sure unproductive. What about you, Yesenia? Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I also think that there is a lot of procrastination.
Right with you, man. Procrastination, putting things off. That I think maybe more of us did in 2020 than ever had before. Julian, what do you think?
The word I used most was Zoom.
Zoom. Well, a word that probably none of us even thought about ever before 2020, right? And then all of a sudden it was our everyday. It became a verb, it became a noun, it became an adjective. All of our worlds were in the Zoom world. What about you, Ava?
Well, I've never actually used this word in my everyday life, but I feel like Blur's Day is something that could really represent the year, because everything is always just repetition every single day. And I feel like I'm living every day the exact same.
I hear you on that one. That one was particularly true for me in the spring, like in April, May. I wasn't sure. I mean, I think April was probably about 17 months long. I don't know about you guys. I felt like every day was the same. I don't know whether it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday. It was all the same. So I'm with you on Blur's Day. Those are some good words.
Was it same day as in it was just the same routine daily, or just there was just so unproductive that day that it just felt the same every time?
Probably a little of both. I think that because most of us are used to getting up and leaving our house every day, and because we were in our house every day, it felt like that the days weren't passing, right? There used to be a distinction between the weekends and the weekdays. And then in April, that wasn't happening so much. And we didn't get a lot of variety.
There's not much variety anymore. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I think all of those together, Blur's Day, Zoom, quarantine, social distancing, they definitely, and unproductive, right? They all marked our 2020. So now, and I'll kind of throw this out to the group. Does anybody have a word or phrase that you can think of that you would want to focus on for 2021? What is something that we should focus on for 2021?
Productive, I
guess. There you go. Let's just flip it right on its head and go from unproductive to productive. What about you guys? What about the rest of you?
Well, I know that I hope we all get back to normal, right? But if we want to get back to normal, the word that we'll use most likely could be like transition back. Like hopefully we start hearing about transitioning back to normality.
Yeah.
So just words of that type.
Yeah, anything that we're used to hearing, right? Like those normal life,
Yes.
back to normal. I'm done with the new normal. I'm ready for the old normal.
That's for sure.
What about you, Julian? What do you think? What should we focus on for 2021?
Well, social distancing still as well. So we can all go back into the normal safely. Because there's a lot of people that still go out.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that, maybe maintain maintenance or kind of continuing to make good, smart decisions so that we can get there. I think so too. I think a lot of people are ready to go back to the old normal without doing the things we need to do to get there. So I hear you. That's a good one. What about you, Ava?
I'd say freedom, just to kind of feel free to travel wherever you want to go, or you can feel safe enough to leave your house, maybe without a mask if we get there eventually.
Yeah. What a good thought. I love that idea of freedom. Freedom to be together, freedom to feel happy, and freedom to leave our homes, all of those freedoms that we maybe took for granted before, but now we're looking forward to for 2021. I totally agree. And then Yesenia, do you have your 2021 word? What do you think?
Well, I just think that like we have to take a big step, in like maintaining, like you said, ourselves and staying home and staying safe. But it'd be good if we can just go out without forgetting our masks.
Yes, I have to tell you, that is our new thing. Every time we go to the grocery store or we leave the house, do we have our mask? Do we have our mask? It's the last thing we have to check. Now it's our one more step that we have to get through. And we have a 6-year-old, so getting her to remember her mask and to make sure it's always clean and ready to go is quite a feat. So one more thing that we would be happy to leave behind in 2020 for sure. Okay. So I think I'm going to transition us forward a little bit to our section about resolutions and goals, which we've been talking about this week in my class, and I know the other 10th grade students have been talking about too. And so I thought it would be interesting for you guys to know that 40 to 45% of Americans make New Year's resolutions each year. So almost half of Americans make New Year's resolutions, but only a quarter of these people keep their New Year's resolutions past the second week in January. So we have already passed the time where a quarter of people have dropped off on their commitments for the new year. And then only 8% of resolutions are kept like forever, are achieved, are realized. So if you're one of those half of the people who make resolutions, only less than 1 in 10 of those people are going to be able to achieve those resolutions for long term. I looked up, and I thought you guys might be interested. Twitter did a search of all the New Year's resolutions as were posted in their tweets, and they came up with the top 10 resolutions of their users. Does anybody have a guess about what the top 10 resolutions include for people?
Less screen time.
Less screen time.
Maybe
That's
more
a good
sleep.
One.
In our class, we heard a lot of that.
More sleep. Okay, good. Sleep more was on the top 10 list. But less screen time was not on there. So I guess actually you'd have to look at the source though, right? Twitter users are the ones that were pooled here. So Twitter users.
Wrong demographic.
Exactly. They're not the ones looking for less screen time. Yeah. What about the rest of you? Any guesses about what people are resolving to do?
I like working out daily.
Absolutely. Number 1, diet, exercise, and weight loss.
I'd like to kind of talk about that more. I think people definitely want to always drink more water. I think that's always something that's on there.
Let me see. Drink more water is not on here, But
that kind of factors into the first one, right? Taking care of their health.
Yeah, diet, exercise, and weight loss. So maybe the whole drinking more water and being more hydrated is part of the diet. And I think that part of the overall health and well-being. So I agree with you, Grace. Any other guesses for the top 10? What do people out there want to do with their lives? What do you guys think?
Spending more time with family, probably.
Let me see. Well, it says make new friends is on there. That's on the top 10.
I think 2020 gave us a big dose of family time for most people.
We're all like, yay, family. Yeah. Now let's meet new people. So I'll tell you the top 10 that Twitter came up with. And again, these are based on Twitter users. So it was diet, exercise, and weight loss was number 1. Read more, number 2. So that spoke to my English teacher heart. Learn something new, which maybe speaks to all educators, but that probably includes things like learn a new language, learn how to play a different instrument, maybe a different sport. Save money is on there. I loved number 5, be a nicer human. I think maybe that in the current social and political climate, maybe people are seeking to just be kinder to their fellow man, and fellow women, which I loved. Get a new job. Give more time and money to charity, drink less, which maybe doesn't affect our Costa Mesa students, but definitely the people on Twitter were interested in, and sleep more and make new friends. So those were the top 10 things that people made resolutions about. What do you guys think you have stuck to New Year's resolutions in the past, or have you been part of the 92% who have let their New Year's resolutions drop?
This is probably like my first year that I've ever actually like decided to make a New Year's resolution, because before I just didn't really care.
Yeah, Danny. So what New Year's resolution were you able to make or keep?
It was simple. I just decided not to eat chips and drink soda anymore. It was just like a minor diet change.
They have said, well, that's not even a minor one though. They have said cutting soda out of your diet is one of the things you could do to potentially elongate the years of your life. So I think that was a good choice. What about the rest?
I don't want to live to the point where I'm old and wrinkly, though. I think I felt like 60 years will be good enough for me.
You live in the state of California. We don't get wrinkles in this state. What about you, Yesenia? Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Well, yeah, I did. But the years before, I've never thought about doing a New Year's resolution. But for this year, I just think that maybe growing my business a little more, and probably I don't know, just realizing more.
Well, you are on the Costa Mesa podcast, so I feel like we'll talk about your business. Tell me about what do you do for your business?
I actually design cups.
What? That is so great. I feel like if I was like a legit podcaster, now is when I could tell the people your website and share your business. So maybe your New Year's resolution is coming true right now. Maybe this will grow your business because you're getting all this great advertising.
Yeah. What kind of cups are you talking? What do you mean?
I design Starbucks cups or any type of cup you want to design on.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that is amazing. How do you sell them?
I usually use Instagram.
Okay. Well, here's good news. My New Year's resolution is to spend more time supporting my students. So you'll have to put me down for one of those cups. I'm in.
I actually added one of the images of them to the assignment you left for us.
What? See, yeah. Look at how all this is coming together. I think that's great. I am really proud of the fact that you're doing that, and also that the fact that you put yourself out there on this podcast. So I feel like that this is all good ways to start off the year. And like I said, you put me down for one of those. I am in to support you and purchase one of your cups to help you grow your business.
Yeah, I mean, 2020 wasn't the year where people really got to do things, or I feel like everyone got something that they really wanted to do, and just 2020 helped me to just do it.
Yeah, well, good for you. I'm proud of you. And we'll go to Ava. Did you have do you make New Year's resolutions? Do you feel like you have stuck to a New Year's resolution before?
Well, I make them, but I believe that I'm part of the 92% that always drops them, because I usually make goals that are too unrealistic, or I just work hard at them for one day or something and then just get really tired and unmotivated for no reason. So I usually like to take baby steps, just take everything one day at a time.
Yeah, and that's actually the New York Times article I read with my class today talked about that, about how maybe the best ways to do New Year's resolutions was to make them really manageable and achievable. Like instead of biting off the more than you can chew and saying, I'm gonna, lose a ton of weight and go to the gym every single day, maybe instead you say, okay, I'm going to take a 30-minute walk outside today. And that's a little doable baby step that is very achievable. And then you can start feeling good about your progress. Another video that we shared was about maintenance, about maintaining some of the positive choices that you're making in your life and not necessarily feeling like you have to start something brand new. So yeah, I think New Year's resolutions can be a lot of pressure, but also that's why the article, again, the New York Times article was saying that there's all kinds of new beginnings, not just necessarily January 1st, but also every Monday can be a new beginning. The beginning of every month can be a new beginning. There's all kinds of options for recommitting to our goals to make us better and stronger people.
That's a nice notion.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about being a teacher is that we get 2 New Year's days. We get January 1st, like the rest of the world, but also the first day of every school year is always a new chance for us to work with new students. And so I always feel lucky to get 2 New Year's days to get to reinvent myself. And you do too, as students. All right, now it looks like it's time for the Maniac Round, which is the this or that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say 2 of your names and you guys get to tell me whether you would want the this or that. I'll give you 2 things to choose between and we'll see if you agree or disagree. So the first one's for Grace and Ava. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. So 80s music or 90s music, Grace and Ava?
80s
music.
Oh, agreement. And I am with you. I played 80s music in my class today as we started, and I'm a big fan. All right. The next one is for Danny and Julian. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Record players or Apple Music?
Record players.
Oh, that's hard because my dad, he has a record player and I like it a lot. But Apple Music also has like a lot of different types of music that record players don't typically have. So it's
what's your choice? This is the Costa Mesa fans are waiting. What do you choose?
I think I'd go with the record player still. Yeah.
All right, record players. We have agreement. 80s music and record players. You guys are my type of people, I can tell. All right, we'll go. This one will go Yesenia and Grace. We'll go typewriters or keyboards.
Oh, that's hard.
I guess keyboards?
Yeah, I think I'd go with keyboards.
Don't have much experience with typewriters. Some typing an option.
Well, I have experience with both, and I think you guys are probably right. Keyboards are probably a little faster and more efficient, although typewriters maybe win it for the cool points. So I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's go with Julian and Ava. Internet or no internet?
Internet.
So you guys are like, there are many perils of the internet. All worth it.
We couldn't have survived 2020 without internet.
You know what? You are right, Grace. You potentially make the best point. What would we have done? How would we have all figured out how to bake sourdough bread and play all the games that we played online without the internet? All right, we'll go Yesenia, Ava. Skinny jeans or baggy jeans?
Skinny jeans.
Oh, Yesenia, did you say skinny or baggy?
Skinny.
Okay, we got skinny. Okay, we're all together on the skinny. Danny and Julian, film cameras or phone cameras?
Phone cameras.
I think I'd just do phone camera. It's a little bit more accessible, I guess.
Than a film camera. That is correct. Can you imagine taking a picture and then having to wait like a week to figure out if it came out? Welcome to my reality of my youth. Okay, now last one. We'll go Grace and Ava. Blockbuster video stores or Netflix?
Ooh, I mean Netflix now.
Netflix.
Don't have much choice.
It's very true. There's only one Blockbuster left. I will put a plug out there there's a great documentary if anyone who's listening is interested called The Last Blockbuster, and it's all about the experience of going to a Blockbuster on a Friday night with your family or with the person you're on a date with to go pick out a Blockbuster movie.
I mean it's a fun thing. It's just you don't get
just not available.
No.
Not available. Well, I really appreciate you guys playing this or that. So that's the end of our first Maniac Monday episode of 2021. I want to thank my wonderful guests, Grace, Ava, Danny, Julian, and Yesenia, for volunteering your time to talk to me. And I want you to watch out for the next episode of the podcast, which is the Asian Culture Club and the Lunar New Year. And as always, you should reach out to ASB if you have any ideas for what we should talk about. And I'm your newly inaugurated podcaster in chief, signing off and saying thank you guys so much.